How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. I would like to give Tremel Taylor a shout out, excuse me. And Tremel, would you send me? I did some much deeper research, and this video, oh wow. I'm gonna warn everybody. This is one of them kind of nasty type of videos, so I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. And so, if you eating or drinking or whatever, I'm giving you a warning now. You may not want to watch it. You may want to watch it later, but I'm just giving a heads up. So, before I read anything, I'm just gonna play this video, and it speaks for itself. And this video is February 19th, 2018. Survey of downtown San Francisco reveals trash, feces, drug needles. The NBC Bay Area investigatives Union surveyed a section of downtown San Francisco to determine the amount of feces, hypodermic needles, and garbage littering the heart of the city. The results reveal a disgusting and potentially deadly mix of contaminations that experts now believe could exceed some of the dirtiest slums in the world. Investigative reporter, oh Lord, this is an Indian name. I'm gonna just say his Big Aid Shaban. That's the best I could do. So this video is gonna be a little over 6 minutes.
It is one of the most famous cities in the world, but San Francisco may be one of the dirtiest too. An NBC Bay Area investigation reveals a dangerous concoction of drug needles, garbage, and even feces lining the streets of downtown.
Investigative reporter Begad Shaban explains why parts of the city are now being compared to some of the worst slums, not just in the country, but in the world.
Terry and Jess, parts of the city aren't just disgusting. These diseased streets can be dangerous. Millions of your tax dollars are spent cleaning them. So why does one of the richest cities in the world have neighborhoods that resemble some of the poorest? Tonight, we investigate. You like taking walks?
With my mom and my dad.
Anila Reed is pretty observant for a 3-year-old.
This looks like a microphone.
Yeah, that's what it is. And rambunctious. Which might be why she had no problem telling us her thoughts on San Francisco.
You know, someone pooping there.
You see poop sometimes?
Yeah, with garbage.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me angry.
It makes you angry?
Yeah.
Anila and her fellow preschoolers have to regularly dodge some of the worst of what San Francisco has to offer.
I think what's wrong with this?
The day we met Anila, she and her class walked right by nearly a dozen drug needles. That's the kids singing, by the way.
You gotta start paying attention to the ground, okay?
Okay.
Kim Davenport is Anila's mom and often walks her to school.
It's not safe, it's not healthy. Feces on the ground, needles.
You've actually had to pull her out of the way to keep them separate.
Yes, of course. I just had to do that this morning.
So how dirty is the city? I hit the streets with my producer to find out. Together, we surveyed 153 blocks of downtown San Francisco. We spent 3 days walking up and down every street, inspecting more than 20 miles of the city. We found trash on every block, 303 piles of feces, and 100 needles.
If you do get stuck with these disposed needles, you can get HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B.
Dr. Lee Riley is an infectious disease expert at UC Berkeley.
The fecal matter could possibly get into air, and if you happen to inhale that, it can also go into your intestine.
Which can be deadly, especially for children. Dr. Riley has researched some of the dirtiest slums in the world, but believes contamination levels in parts of San Francisco may now be even worse.
Much higher than what we what we see in places like Brazil or Kenya or India.
The neighborhoods we surveyed include the notorious Tenderloin, but also popular tourist spots like Union Square and major hotels. The area also includes City Hall, schools, playgrounds, and a police station. We took hundreds of photos and videos. Along the way, we spotted several people shooting up. This woman walked right up to my producer before going to the bathroom on the street.
Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
San Francisco Supervisor Hillary Ronen is fed up.
We're losing tourists. We're losing conventions in San Francisco. All of this is happening because we aren't addressing the root cause. We don't invest enough money in our temporary shelter system.
Ronen believes the city has been so focused on providing full-time housing for the homeless that San Francisco doesn't have enough temporary beds. The city has about 2,000, but Ronen believes another 1,000 are needed. The cost? $25 million.
We need to find a source of revenue.
But those in the city are already paying more for street cleaning. The Department of Public Works spent $60 million last year cleaning the city. That's nearly double from 5 years ago.
Trash is not my only problem.
Mohammed Nuru is the Public Works Director.
If we're spending tens of millions of dollars every year to clean our city streets, and then they often end up looking like that, why isn't something changed?
Well, I think things are changing.
But when you walk the streets of San Francisco, it doesn't seem to be working.
I think, you know, the city has its ups and downs. It gets cleaned, and then go back there a few hours later, and it looks as if it was never cleaned. And it's not just about sweeping and washing down and cleaning. We have a social problem that we need to solve.
His department maintains 34 public restrooms across San Francisco, but city workers still spend much of their time cleaning human waste off the streets. They also pick up an average of 12,000 needles each month. It's a dirty job that Nuru says eats away at about half his street cleaning budget.
So you're telling me drug needles on the street and human feces is costing the city roughly about $30 million a year?
Encampments, yes, just hotspots because of the resources and the people who have to do this work.
Which means more work for Anila's preschool teacher. Adelita Oriana not only has to teach her kids about colors and sharing, she also has to educate them about syringes.
We just let them know that they're dangerous and they should never be touched.
So for kids as young as 2, you're talking about needles?
Yeah, because it's so prevalent on the sidewalks.
It's a lesson Anila and her classmates were forced to learn, but one San Francisco still can't seem to learn from.
This is every single day. They use these sidewalks as bathrooms, and it's disgusting.
Over the past year, the city has received more than 20,000 complaints of human waste. That's an average of 60 calls per day about feces on San Francisco streets. On our website, we've created an interactive map you can use to see where exactly we spotted trash, needles, and feces. You can search block by block. We've even posted photos. A warning, though, some are pretty disgusting.
Okay, we have been warned. Thank you, Bagad. If you have a story for Bagad or any...
Okay, my royal family. Now remember, that was last year. And boy, I got a lot to say because y'all know I grew up in San Francisco. And I'm not surprised by any of this. We know that in Southern California, they said that they've been having a hepatitis issue amongst homeless people. And up here in the Bay Area, the homeless situation, I have never seen it this worse ever. And my parents and I moved here in 1960, I think 67 or 68. And, whoa, this is bad. But I'm going to reserve myself at this point, and I'm going to read some things, and then I have another video to show the royal family, to show y'all how deep and nasty this problem is. So, shocking photo. San Francisco man defecates in store, in grocery store aisles. It's no secret that San Francisco has literally become a crappy city to live in, with sidewalks littered with human feces left behind by homeless, drug-addicted vagrants who called the sidewalks home. City's officials have spent millions to address the homeless problem, including the addition of 25 public restrooms at a cost of $200,000, but it seems the poop problem is only getting worse. Let's see here. The picture shown, and I have some close-ups too. I'm gonna show y'all. The picture picture shows a disheveled gentleman, in a man bun with his pants around his knees, feces clearly visible on the floor near a chip display as he prepared to wipe. Just curious, are the bathrooms, now these are people responding, okay, on Twitter. Are the bathrooms locked for non-customers' use? Okay, people asking questions. And somebody responded, bathrooms are open. Now, what I have encountered, bathrooms are closed because they don't want the homeless to sleep in there. And just for a footnote, the store that this homeless dude took a dump at is in a district in San Francisco called the Marina Greens, and that is in the district that Nancy Pelosi lived, her second house. So, you know, I'm up here in Nancy and Pamela country and a few other fake politicians, and so the Marina Greens is some of the most expensive property in California. So let me finish this up. Several others who commented noticed that while the man didn't bother to take his business in the bathroom, he did manage to find toilet paper. Had plenty of time to find the toilet paper aisle, but not the actual bathroom. What is most telling here is that this guy had the wherewithal to find the toilet paper aisle, pull out a roll, and then yank down his pants. Golden rule added. So no excuses arguing this guy wasn't capable of making choices before defecating. He made quite a few choices to get to that point. And okay, that's some other political stuff. And so let's go over here. And these are the close-up pictures. You see a guy straight down there. He must be taking a picture too. But they say he was high and all that. But we do see a big old like jumbo thing of toilet paper that he pulled some out. And here is the results of. He literally took a country ass shit out in pretty much the open at the grocery store. That is nasty as fuck. He need his ass whooped. I'm just gonna keep it core and raw. So, let me see what I have here. Oh yeah, I got that video to play. So, you know, we in an election season, so anything that goes wrong in anybody's state or literally their district, they gonna be slinging mud back and forth or slinging shit back and forth. Thank you, Pelosi. San Fran Dems call out when man spotted defecating in Safeway's aisle 3, while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is consumed with impeaching President Donald Trump. Back home in San Francisco, residents are forced to endure the most unimaginable thing one can imagine, like homeless, drug-addicted people taking a dump in the aisles of a supermarket. That's according to a photo tweeted by journalist Deborah Kane, which depict a man in a upright position appearing to go to the bathroom in an aisle in the grocery store. Damn. Kane tagged Democratic Mayor London Breed, which is a sister, and identified the store as as a Safeway on Marina Boulevard in San Francisco, which we call the Marina Greens. Let me see what else they have here. So this is just another politician that's just trying to upseat. I'm not going to read all that mess. It's all political. It's trying to upseat Nancy Pelosi and talk about the homeless problem that they are having here in the Bay Area. But this is going on throughout America. So let's get into this last video. And I have plenty to say in the end. So this video is a little over 3 minutes. And this is April 24th, 2019. Drugs, feces in plain sight on the streets of San Francisco. Let me see here. Look, I get the maximum sound on this thing. Let's see what we got. Maybe I got a refresh. Let's see here. Do a little refresher here and see what we get.
San Francisco is struggling to keep its streets clean as a new report shows that the city's problem is worse than ever.
Wow. Campus Reform Editor-in-Chief and Fox News contributor Lawrence Jones went to San Francisco to see the problem firsthand and find out what locals think about it. He joins us now. Good morning, Lawrence.
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing okay. What happened in San Francisco?
Yeah, it's a mess out there. The best way I can describe it was after 5 steps of getting out of the camera truck, I saw my first needle. Guys, it's a mess, but it's something that you got to see for yourself, so take a look at this. There's feces everywhere, homeless people, needles. Is that the norm around here?
Unfortunately, it is. It's devolved. The city has become so much worse in the last 10 years. That's a disgrace.
I could see a lot of people in the area that we're in, they were all like, you know, had needles, you know, pumping up in their arms just outside.
Everybody's shooting up right up the street. They don't care. Selling dope, crack, whatever.
It's a bad situation. I don't really know what the solution is going to be.
So what do you see on a typical day with people?
Drug use. People shoot up right in the middle of the street. It's crazy.
While the kids are crossing, families are going to tourists.
Everything. Excrements all over the floor, all over the ground.
Is it really safe for kids to play at the playground when you see all this waste, human waste, and needles everywhere?
I wouldn't bring my kids to the playground. I would bring my kids here.
About how many pounds of feces?
At least 5 to 10.
And the needles?
10 to 20 every day.
Every day.
Man, that can vary. It can be anywhere from 5 to 10 or 10 to 20. Depends on what route you take.
And pounds of poop?
Man, now that's the biggest thing is the smell.
I have my grandkids here. You know, I'm scared to let them walk on certain parts. You know, sometimes I have to pick them up and carry them. I don't want them to step on a needle.
Our political leaders are not dealing with this.
Yeah.
They're not dealing with this.
That I
think
agree
it's corrupt.
This is a normal. This is a normal. It's crazy.
Okay, so how are they going to fix it?
Yeah, a lot of people say that it's a money issue, but when you look at the numbers for San Francisco, the median household income is $93,000 already. They have the money. I mean, where this is located, where I saw the people that looked like they were on The Walking Dead, all doped up, surrounded, was all the big tech companies. So this is not just this bad area. This is a city that has, quite frankly, made this the new normal. You see people shooting up on the street in front of the cops out there, and they're doing it because it's allowed. They have a crime enforcement problem. They have a poverty problem as far as the people getting out on the street. But they have the money to get this done if they stop focusing on issues like sanctuary cities and focus on the issues that actually impact their neighborhood.
They got high taxes in the city and the state. You would think that your tax dollars are being used to actually clean up the city. Clearly, they're not. Lawrence, thanks for bringing us that story.
Lawrence. We've all been to that
Thanks,
city.
guys.
It was so beautiful. Fisherman's Wharf in that area, but now look what's happening.
Yeah, it is a crying shame, especially I can relate to some extent where you know, the very place that you grew up at, and you see it falling apart. But on a much deeper level, my royal family, what we are looking at is eventually it's going to engulf America. We are literally getting a close, up in your face glimpse of what's really going on in America. And what we are looking at is we are finally seeing a crack in the enemy's foundation. And I have often said, when you see something dying out, you don't give it life, especially if whatever that thing is that caused you great pain, which this system, we all have been affected by this system. It has deep, lasting impacts. We all have been affected. And this is judgment coming down on the enemy. Now, I mean, check this out. They literally got apps that I found where to show you the shittiest streets in San Francisco. And tourists are going to stop coming on a high percentage level to America. They're not addressing it. And I mean, it is so bad. Now they are literally telling the homeless to come across the bay. It's like, just get rid of them. And I mean, literally, people are literally having sex in broad daylight, and that's what happened in Babylon. People getting high, people using the bathroom on themselves. I mean, things that people do behind closed doors. We will see it on the streets of America. We will see the enemy and also the enemy supporters have complete meltdowns. You know, we are even seeing diseases that we thought was eradicated throughout the world coming back very, very strong. And again, this is judgment on America. And, you know, I'm like anybody else. I don't want to walk into no shit. That is a big problem. And they're literally working overtime to keep those streets clean, because they do it a lot out in LA. I have did some research on that, and it's bad. But I keep going back to the same thing. It sounds redundant sometimes, but Esau is not taking care of their immediate situation, because overall what we are witnessing, I'm just talking about in my region, a great deal of these homeless people are men that have served this country, you know, and they always talking about show our military forces out here, the people that you know, so-called love this country, and you give part of your life to this country, and then once you have put your time in, nobody not gonna give you a job. They shunning you, disrespecting you, and you know, and if some of them went to actual war, we don't know what they dealt with and seen. So they got a lot of psychological issues, and it's a lot of people that's homeless have a lot of mental health issues. I mean, deep, you know, And it can further depress you when you don't have a place to use the bathroom. You know, you want to bathe. And I remember I did some research earlier this year, how women deal with being homeless and having to deal with her cycle. And, you know, it's a lot of people that come and hand out different things to homeless people, and they didn't realize, oh, wow, we got these women out here. Some, you know, some in some sense, they're like in the Stone Ages. We got all this technology, and Esau can't even take care of their own. They can't even get their own off the street. Let's exclude everybody else, just their own. They don't give a damn about them. And it's reflecting in America. And when I say this is going to engulf America, I put it to you like this. It's happening so rapid, I'm predicting that within 3 years, it's just out of control. That's even like what's going on with climate change, where Esau don't want to deal with it. And see, when they finally deal with anything, it's literally at their steps. I've often talked about the Dust Bowl, where these dumbass farmers would plant crops, and they would keep planting the same crop year after year and would not allow the earth to breathe and rotate their crops. And it just like depleted the minerals from the dirt, and it started a big dust bowl. The politicians in DC ignored it. Well, one day they had a big storm, and that dust bowl showed up in DC. Then it was time to eradicate the issue. See what I'm saying? So this situation, you know, what's going on exclusively up here in San Francisco, it's way out of control. You spend $200,000 for public toilets. I ain't seen them toilets in San Francisco. I've seen a few over here, you know, and you gotta hope that they gonna clean it, because when I worked on those job sites, they were literally cleaning those toilets like every 3 days, because we had an enormous crew. So they had on the bridge alone probably about 80 toilets. You know, I would always see them, but when they put them out on the street, no telling what is going on, you know, and then people can't properly bathe and all that. I remember I seen a video where this man had converted this a truck he had into a where people could take showers, and he would he comes in the homeless neighborhoods, and towels is donated, soap is donated, and I think in his truck, I think he got probably 8 to 10 stalls, because he said he wanted to do something for the homeless. So he's giving this guy all kind of hygiene products, and the guy said, I don't have nowhere to live where I'm going to wash myself up at. And the guy said he felt so stupid, you know, but his heart was in the right place. So he said he had the money to do it, and that's what he came up with, because that will depress you. You know, you're already tripping because you don't have no place to stay, and then you getting all funky and your ass all greasy and stuff, and that affects your mental health when you can't, you know, bathe at your leisure. You know, think about these things that we do, like we just chilling here at home. A homeless person really gets no rest. They want them to keep moving. They don't want them to set up housekeeping in their businesses. So I don't know how San Francisco or the Bay Area period is going to deal with this issue, because trust and believe, people are going to stop coming to the San Francisco to ride them cable cars and all of that. And one last thing as I close out, San Francisco is losing a lot of revenue. They have closed down a number of schools and ran families out of San Francisco. So when you start closing down schools, I think they closed down like 2 high schools, you know, and a handful of elementary and middle schools. And when you start pushing families out in droves, that's less federal dollars in your city, you know, because they focusing on the computer geeks or the dot-commers, and a lot of them are homeless. I seen a video of that in the Silicon Valley. They work there and literally living in their cars, in their trailers, you know, literally like around the corner from their job, you know, and these folks making good money. And I had read an article a while back that in the Bay Area alone, let's say a family of 4, that if that family is making right at $100,000 a year, do you know in the Bay Area that is considered low income, medium to low income, and they can even sign up for housing in Section 8? That's how high it is here in the Bay Area. And then you want to push out families. You don't want to deal with your veterans. You know, it's a lot of moving parts and things that in Nancy Pelosi's country that has not been addressed. It goes deeper than that. You know, I need to start doing more local stories, because that, you know, when you know the state that you live in and everything, and you know what's going on, it's, you know, it just flows, you know, because I don't do a lot of local stories, and I'm gonna try to devote a little bit more time to that. So I mean, anyway, again, Tremero Taylor, thank you as always. This shit is nasty. Damn, that's all I can say. I would be pissed off if I had to be the one that clean a motherfucker shit. I mean, wow, that's deep. So anyway, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.